commercial he did with Papa John's Pizza,
Manning?
where he's like refereeing a coin toss, and he's like, hey, I gotta do something for work because he's injured. Still cash those checks.
Oh God, yeah, still think it's $13 million for the year.
Oh, it does, right? Pay. That's it.
All right.
What do you think?
Well done.
It's a stretch, but that's what we do here at FitnessBig.com.
Somebody watching this video will get it.
Yes.
Somebody.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna browbeat them with it.
Peyton. All right, Vic, let's talk about one of the superstars in the NFL.
Let's do it.
Superstars. I mean,
Victor Cruz.
Elite. Oh, he's there too, but he's not quite this level, this guy's level. He's not starring in 6 commercials a day the way Peyton Manning is.
Yes.
Some sort of neck injury, I mean, you never really hear about that. You hear about broken necks, but you never hear of some sort of neck injury that requires surgery that makes you miss a season, which is what his problem is. Indianapolis Colts player.
Fusing of his vertebrae.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things going on in here, and you know, if you're a football player, maybe that's not the right thing to do is step back on the football field.
Yeah.
But besides the point, highest paid player in the league, okay, and did not play a down in 2011.
Yeah.
His team goes from a perennial Super Bowl contender to 1-15, worst team in the league, first-round draft pick. Well, they will choose Andrew Luck to be his successor.
Yep.
Now we've come to a point where the Colts might be getting rid of Peyton Manning because he might just be more trouble than he's worth. What do you think about this?
But they actually, unfortunately for them, they almost lost the first round because they did win 2 games.
2 games,
in
oh
the
sorry,
season,
okay.
And they tied with the Rams, both went 2-14, but because of strength of schedule, I guess
Right.
they lucked out with Andrew Luck.
Locked down, yep.
So the question for me is Peyton Manning, meaning are they going to pay him this $28 million bonus?
$28 million bonus coming in March.
Could the Colts potentially turn that $28 million bonus down? I say yes. I think there's no way Peyton comes back with the Colts because of 2 reasons. Number one, I think Andrew Luck will be there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they want Peyton Manning, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, as a potential apprentice/roadblock.
Right.
And I think he will become a New York Jet.
Oh, big statement. Now, I'm not going to go so far as the Jets, but I'm going to hit on a couple of other topics you
Why not?
mentioned. I'm going to say this.
The Jets need him.
I'll get to the Jets. The Colts are in the kind of unenviable position where, you know, if you think back to very similar to the Packers situation a few years back, where they had Brett Favre, they had a legend, and they drafted Aaron Rodgers with the expectations that 2 to 3 years under Favre's belt, and Favre would retire, and then boom, Rodgers would explode, which he did. He's been great since he's been a starter in the league. Their problem
Discount
is
double choke?
boom, boom,
Double choke.
Sitting at home watching the championship game on the couch. But either way, they're in a tough spot where Manning is not 3 years away from retirement. He's closer to 5 years away from retirement. The way he's, at least, barring the injury in his neck.
Barring the injury, though.
But he
could be
very rarely
5
said
minutes from
he wants to
retirement.
play 5 years. He said that. He wants to play 5 more years. And that's on his
I want to
contract.
play 5 more years.
I'd love to too. You know, if they're paying me the money that the Colts are paying him, I'd go 5 years too. So they're in a tough spot to where they really can't have both quarterbacks on the roster. It's really what it comes down to. Personal
Like a
opinion.
Steve Young, Joe Montana situation almost.
Personal opinion. They need to move Peyton out of there.
Yeah.
They need to draft Luck and start building. They were a horrible team. They fired their coach Jim Caldwell. They got rid of the GM. I think whoever that joker is. The guy who built that team. Because you know what? If I'm the owner, Ursay, I'd probably do the same thing.
Napoleon.
Yeah, that's it. I'd probably do the same thing because, you know, you've built a team revolving around one guy. You remove one cog from this, and all of a sudden we go from a 13-win team to a 2-win team.
Right, yeah, 13-3 down to 2-14.
That's a big jump on one player. If you think back to the Patriots, when they lost Brady,
They went 11-5.
Exactly. So it's just a different organization, and you can understand why Napoleon got moved out. So here we go.
Yep.
Will the New York Jets be the one to jump into the Peyton Manning
what do you think?
C6? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say yes, they should. They should sign him. They should do a Brett Favre type deal where they can bring him in. They have a guy in there, Mark Sanchez, who I don't think is the answer.
No.
Should they? Yes. Will they? No. I think there's twofold answer for that. They are too prideful to say they missed the mark on Mark
They
Sanchez.
fire Schottenheimer.
Oh, but who wouldn't?
No.
Schottenheimer's a mess. Come on.
But number one, they were backing him up, and they were saying they were trying to promote him to get a head coaching job.
They wanted him to get a head coaching job, so he would be off of the team.
Right, but but literally 3 days after they're promoting him in the press as getting a promotion, they fire him.
I think that that's just kind of doing your due diligence, being a good owner there. I really don't think they had any intention of Schottenheimer coming back, nor did they want him to be a NFL head coach.
But the simple excuse, the one-liner you deliver during a press conference introducing Peyton Manning is saying, folks, when you have a chance to get Peyton Manning, you get Peyton Manning.
And you do it, but you know what? I don't think they do it, because I don't think they're willing to admit that they made a mistake.
Spineless.
Yeah, Woody Johnson, spineless. I'm gonna go so far as to say he won't do it. He won't admit the mistake on Mark Sanchez. And the other problem is I don't think Peyton is in a rush to come to New York. He actually has a tight relationship with his brother.
Oh, good point.
Don't forget that. Is he going to want to play in the
Very good point.
same city as his brother,
Okay.
where he's compared to him every single day?
Yep.
Especially because now Eli is going to his second Super Bowl. Peyton's only been to one. Eli could in 2 weeks have 2 Super Bowl rings compared to Peyton's 1. So now you have one of the most prolific passers in history, Peyton Manning, being told his brother, who plays down the street from him, not even down the street, the same building, is better than him.
So answer this question. What teams are a quarterback away?
Here's who I think would be a nice move for him. Okay, I would say Baltimore, but I think like the Jets, they're not going to move Joe Flacco.
Right.
I'm going to say the Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals, who have been good. Remember, when they had Kurt Warner, they got to the Super Bowl. Now they brought in Kevin Cobb. Was he the answer? Not really. They had a very strong second half of the season. The Cardinals went 8-8, and Kevin Cobb really played down, really played low to expectations. He's due a $7 million bonus in March, which they were saying the Cardinals might not pick up. This is a good situation for them to bring in a guy like this. They still have Larry Fitzgerald, so you have a marquee wide receiver out there. I think the Cardinals would be a good fit for him.
I think the Cardinals need him. Does Peyton want to go to Arizona? Does he feel like they give him a chance to win? Don't know. Dome team, perhaps in Minnesota.
See, here's why I think the problem is there's very few 10-plus win teams, playoff caliber teams, that don't already have a solid quarterback.
But a year ago, Minnesota was with Brett Favre. They fell apart
Tough to
because
say,
they fell apart because they had McNabb.
No, tough to say. I mean, this year they had a horrible year. What, they went 4 years this year? But
prior year.
the prior year with Favre, they weren't much better. They won, what, 8 games?
No.
It was the year before that they got to the championship game. That was 3 years ago.
Okay.
So, yeah, last year they fell apart. So they're 2 years now.
But look what Peyton can do. Peyton turns a 2-14 team into a 13-3 team.
I would say pull both quarterbacks out of the mix. Cardinals are still a better team than the Vikings, and they both play in the Dome. Don't forget that. Cardinals play in the Dome.
Okay.
So
you feel as though Arizona is the right landing spot for him?
You know what? It makes sense. It would fit. I'd personally like to see him with the Jets.
What about Seattle?
Similar. I think that's similar to the. It's a tough one.
The fast track Dome team got some skill players.
That's the thing. So I don't know enough about Seattle to really make those comments, but I know a guy like Pete Carroll would love to have.
Got a couple wideouts up there.
I mean, they're a decent team who came on. Also had a strong second half of the season. I could see that being a fit. I think the Cardinals are a better team again. The other team that they've been talking about is the Dolphins.
Yeah.
So
That's especially if they get a marquee coach.
right, which is a problem for them because it seems like a lot of coaches are shunning them.
You bring in John Gruden and Peyton Manning, and guess what? South Beach just starts popping again.
South Beach just starts popping again.
Yeah. And we're not talking about popping booties.
No, we're not.
Although we
9
should be.
minutes.
We should be talking about